see my slide? It's okay. Okay, so I like to explain the overview of JST's international activities. Well, as I explained in the first session, the JST is conducting the 4 main activities, but I skipped the slide. But in the funding program, JST promotes international activities. So please let me share the opportunity for international research cooperation at JST. We suggest an international cooperation in one word, but roughly speaking, there are 2 ways of international cooperation like this in JST. The left side shows the international cooperation in national programs. The ultimate object of research activities in program is creation of innovation and scientific breakthrough. And the researchers in the program are working very hard, taking any possible measures to realize the purposes. For them, international cooperation is not much choice, but can be a very powerful measure to spur their research. And they adapt international cooperation if they think it is useful for their objectives, creation of innovation and scientific breakthroughs. Basically, international cooperation in national program, it does not care scientific diplomacy through, though it sometimes indirectly contribute to or be influenced by science diplomacy more or less through their cooperation. On the light side show the program for international cooperation. Meanwhile, for program for international cooperation, creation of innovation and scientific breakthrough is a major objective too, but in the program, international cooperation itself is an essential objective to respond to the diplomatic and political needs. Regarding the international program, JST provides international co-funding program called CICOP. CICOP is based on an agreement between Japan and partner country, followed by inter-agency cooperation. Then a call for proposal is conducted jointly, and successful project will receive the funding. In CICOP, we are funding a multilateral program bringing together many funders in Europe and JST. It is called EIG Council Japan, which is short for the European Interest Group for Connecting and Coordinating European Research and Technology Development with Japan. EIG Council Japan is partnership. It's a program for the European-Japanese collaboration in science, technology, and innovation through joint funding calls. And 6 core research areas have been decided as a focus of the Council Japan research: materials, life science, ICT, sustainability science, energy, and device nanotechnology. And with a flexible and open membership structure, the program organizes annual joint funding calls in research topics selected by its members. Currently, 12 countries are represented in the scheme, as you can see on this slide. Council Japan serves as a stepping stone to wider collaboration and further research between European countries and Japan beyond the program. And so far, I have explained JST's international program designed to promote international collaboration. And now I'd like to introduce some pilot activities developed under our international strategy 100% global. As I mentioned in the first session, in the funding program of JST, one of our core funding program is Strategic Basic Research Program, SBRP. And today I'd like to explain the internationalization of the domestic program. In this program, we support many researchers in specific research fields based on our national priorities. The researchers are free to take any possible measures to realize their research objectives. And some of them spontaneously collaborate with their overseas partners for that. And on-top funding is a supplemental fund to encourage researchers to move a step forward to do international actions. However, this budget is not always secured every year. It depends on the situation. In this program, JST started trilateral cooperation in the field of AI. Japanese fifth Science and Technology Basic Plan proposed Society 5.0, a concept of our human-centered future society harmonized with information technologies. This concept is in line with the European view of the AI for humanity. After two joint workshops and a fruitful discussion, we implement for the first time our trilateral joint call in Strategic Basic Research Program. This slide shows bilateral research funding call in fiscal year 2022 and Japan JST and France annual joint call based on the CRUST program in Trusted AI System and Exploring Unknown Materials earlier. So please look at the website for detail for the call for proposals. And as I mentioned in the first session, please check the AIP Network Labs website and Call Labs website.